And then he turned to the book of Luke and he read where Christ resurrected. And then he read where Christ raised up into heaven and sits at the right hand of God, there to make intercession forever for his people. Therefore, he's able to save his people to the uttermost, that is higher, that is grander. And then he said, for the last 2 weeks, hundreds of people have been praying for Amelia. He said, people around the country, emails have gone out. Churches around the country have been praying to God. The saints have been praying, heal this little girl. Raise Amelia up, give her her mind back. And God said, no. But there was a family in Wisconsin who desperately needed a heart. And there were people there praying to God, save my baby. And God said yes. And Amelia's heart went to Wisconsin. There was a family in Johnson City praying for their baby. My baby's going to die if she doesn't get some kidneys. And God said yes. And there was a family in West Virginia saying, my baby's going to die. We need a liver. And God said yes. And they got a liver. Higher, grander purposes were at work. And then Barney said, I was on the phone on Saturday with Jim McClarty. And he said, and in the middle of that phone conversation, Derek came to me. And Derek came to his dad and said, I need Jesus. And that day, Barney and his son got on their knees and prayed together, and Derek gave his life to Christ. Higher, grander purposes were at work. Why? Because God's sovereign. And sometimes, when you ask him for stuff, and he says no, it's because he knows what he's doing. And he knows that at the same time that he's saying no to you, he's saying yes to other people. And they're praying, and you're all praying, and you all want the same thing. And then Barney said, and Amelia opened her eyes in glory and was in the arms of the Lord, because there was a higher and a grander purpose at work. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it because see, I'm 52 now. I'm sorry to break you all up this way. There's not a dry eye in the place. And I'm sorry to break you up, but aren't you glad you know that? Aren't you glad to know that there's somebody on the planet with that kind of insight and wisdom to be able to stand up and say, do you know why this happened? Do you know why this child didn't live? Because this is according to God's plan and purpose. Because God's plan and purpose is being served, and he saved other children, and he took Amelia home. And as David said, the child will not return to me, but I will go to the child. It's good to know that. So, who in the end benefited from the death of Amelia? Well, Amelia went home. 3 other children lived. 3 other families got an answer to their prayer. Amelia's in the arms of the Lord.
And we all did.
And we all did. We all benefited because we all one more time heard the message. He is sovereign and he knows what he's doing, and he does answer prayer, and sometimes the answer is no, but he has a higher, grander purpose to the things that he does, and Derek came to know God. That's a higher, grander purpose.
Amen.
Now look, in your life, bad stuff's coming. It's just a fact. Live long enough, trouble's coming. Those of us who have been around a while can attest that trouble is part of the trip. Pain, heartache, sorrow, you're going to lose people. You're going to lose people you love. You're going to lose things. You're going to go through the kind of sickness and agony and pain and desperation that is going to make you say, I can't go through this anymore. I can't do this. And eventually you're going to cry out, why, God? Why? Why this? Why now? Why this? And for the rest of my life, whenever I go through that, or whenever I hug somebody else while they cry, or listen to somebody else scream, I'm going to be saying higher, grander. We don't always get to see it as clearly as we got to see it this week, but it's always there because God's always there, and He's always at work, and He always knows what He's doing. He always knows what He's doing. And higher, grander purposes come from all that. So my friend Barney sat down, and the room was in the same emotional state we're in right now. And he sat down, and you could feel the whole room exhale, because we all knew that God knew what He was doing. And the answer to the question, why, was because He's God, and He has higher, grander purposes. And I'm a better man for having heard that. And I was determined to tell you all, no matter how difficult it was, because you need to know it too.
He does everything to benefit His children.
He does everything to benefit His children. Gladys, here's a phrase you can hold on to take you through the whole rest of your life. Whatever God does, He's too holy not to do that which brings Him the greatest glory. And He loves you too much not to do that which brings you the greatest good. So whatever it is, even if you can't figure out what the greater good is at work. And sometimes it's just to give you another opportunity to get on your knees and pray and thank Him for the good moments.